You're probably thinking, Sam, you're being so nitpicky. That was such a harmless statement. What could she have possibly said that would draw your attention? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am so excited to have you all here again with me this week. We have so many internet shenanigans to go over. I hope you all have your snacks prepared because we're getting into it today. And if you are new here and this is the first time you are seeing my face, welcome. My name is Sam and I make weekly videos dissecting internet nonsense, so if you're into that type of thing or you like today's video, I hope that you'll consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out the channel and make sure you never miss another upload from me. Today is going to be a little bit different because we are going to do a 2-for-1 special.
Blue light special on aisle 3. Blue light special on aisle 3.
Because both Amberlynn Reed and Anna from Glitter and Lasers have been acting like absolute fools on the internet. And I feel like I need to talk about it. And you all know this, there's no one in real life who's good to talk about these things with. So I thought I would just bring it here to the channel so we could look at their shenanigans together, try to dissect what is going on, and ultimately just chat about it, because I feel like that's the purpose of having a channel, right? You need someone to talk about crazy internet shenanigans with. I am here for you. I want to start today talking about Amberlynn Reed, and to just be open, honest, and fair here, I do want to make it clear that Amber has a lot of shenanigans happening with her content recently. We are only going to focus on just a tidbit, just a blip on the radar for most people when it comes to the internet shenaniganry over there, because there's a lot and we could be here all day. You don't have time for that and I don't have time for that. And there are a million really good reaction channels who are already covering her that way. Please go and check them out if you're looking for that. What I want to focus on is the fact that old Amby thinks that YouTube is discriminating against her and being fat-phobic for removing some of her old mukbang content, as well as her what I eat in a day when I'm off track content. I found out, much like everyone else here, that YouTube had been removing some of her old content when she posted about it on her community tab post. And I was just as shocked, I'm guessing, as many of you were, that YouTube removed a significant piece of Amberlynn Reed lore, and that is a mukbang titled Mukbang Whole Rotisserie Chicken. And according to the screenshot she shared, it was removed for violating YouTube's new self-harm policies. And to say that my interest was immediately piqued would be an understatement. YouTube is always publishing new guidelines. They update them at least once a year, sometimes more. But what they don't typically do is go back and enforce new guidelines on old content. They usually say from this point forward, these are the new guidelines that you must follow. So seeing that they removed a video that had been published in 2016 or 2017 was very, very interesting to me. So I waited for Amberlynn to post a vlog because I knew one had to be coming and I knew that she would likely address it. And she did. But only briefly, to tell us that YouTube taking down her videos, plural, was fat-phobic.
YouTube did take down 2 videos of mine recently. It was rotisserie chicken and I ate 5,000 calories today. Anyways, so the rotisserie chicken one, like, I don't actually fully understand because I probably ate like maybe 300 calories of chicken. I know a lot of people like to say that I ate the whole rotisserie chicken. No, didn't happen, but there are other mukbangers out there who definitely have, and their videos are still up. But I'm not gonna appeal it. I'm not gonna argue with YouTube. It is what it is. Like, I genuinely don't fully care, but I do understand like the 5,000 calorie one. Like, as someone who is morbidly obese, like, I should not really be posting that online, so I definitely get it. But I do think, so like discrimination, because I've seen the topic of discrimination come up. If YouTube wants to take down my I ate some rotisserie chicken, they should probably take down everyone else's. I don't know. I'm not gonna fight with them about it. It is what it is.
And this is so classically Amberlynn. to take the focus off of herself and to bring other YouTubers into a conversation and potentially fight that is not theirs. And this time she's doing it to try to bring them down with her, which is just wild because according to her, these thin mukbangers, their content is worse because they ate the whole chicken and she only ate part of the chicken. So she's claiming that YouTube only took this video down because she is fat. And that is why they're not targeting thin mukbangers for doing the same content. And I love that Amber goes out of her way to say repeatedly that she's not going to fight this and it is what it is. Because she can't fight it, and even if she did, she would lose. And here's why. It has nothing to do with mukbang content. It has absolutely nothing to do with eating a whole rotisserie chicken. And spoiler alert, it has nothing to do with Amberlynn being fat. It almost never has anything to do with Amberlynn being fat. But she really, really loves to use that as an excuse. And the reason that Amber would lose this fight is because if you go back and review her content, which you can still do because there are hundreds of clip channels who have archived these videos, you can very clearly see that they break the terms of service and those guidelines, especially when it comes to unaliving, EDs, and self-harm. So let's take a look at the guidelines and her content and see if we can kind of pinpoint where some of this went wrong. First, these guidelines very clearly state that they do not want creators glorifying EDs or harmful behavior in any way, shape, or form. Let's take a look at these videos and see where she might have been doing that.
I want to show you guys what I eat when I'm off track because I actively woke up today because it is Sunday. And I said, you know what? The Lord is telling me to eat what I want and it's his day today. Now, this is more so like an emotional eating moment. And let's see, is food gonna make me feel better? It is. Realistically, it is. I already feel better. That's emotional eating for you. And a food addict. I feel like when I'm eating this, like I'm doing something like unhealthy. But it's not.
Well, if that isn't damning enough, the second bullet point of these new guidelines asks creators not to share themselves participating in these harmful activities or providing instructions for others to participate in said activities. The entire premise of the What I Eat in a Day as a 500-Pound Girly video is to show and walk through all the things she's eating while repeatedly reminding the audience that she is eating her feelings, emotional eating, and numbing herself. Then, in the other two videos that have been removed, when I went back and watched those, she reminds people several times throughout the video that she is in the throes of her ED and that she's in deep with it. She even shares in the rotisserie chicken video that watching mukbang content makes her want to eat this way.
I know when I watch mukbangs, I get super hungry while I'm eating it. And in the past, I tried to stop watching them because sometimes like watching a mukbang would make me like or overeat or whatever.
And then immediately following that sentiment, she springs into naming at least 6 to 10 mukbangers that she follows personally who make her feel this way or inspire her to act on this behavior. Her listing those is providing searchable material for others to participate in the activities that she's just showed. You want to know what you're not going to find when you watch those other mukbangers who did the rotisserie chicken challenge? They're not going to be telling their audiences about their EDs, if they have them. They're not going to be talking about how eating this way makes them feel like they're doing something bad and then encouraging other people to do it. And you're not going to hear them talking about numbing themselves by emotional eating. So no, Amber, YouTube is not fatphobic. They are not discriminating against you. The internet is not conspiring against you. You broke the rules. Nice try. All right, let's switch gears here just a little bit so we can check in on Anna over at Glitter and Lasers, because she is back to clickbaiting her health once again. If you're out of the loop, she recently posted a video entitled "My Shocking Health Journey Update." And that video could most accurately be described as 9 minutes of my life that I'll never get back. But there were a few nuggets within that video that I felt were interesting enough to bring to people's attention, specifically because they prove once again that Anna has no clue what she's talking about or what she's advocating for when she's pushing these lipedema treatments out to her audience. In the video, she tells the viewers that she's traveled to Tucson, Arizona to meet a doctor, Dr. Karen Herbst, who specializes in conservative treatments for lipedema. Now, I want to take a second and place emphasis on the fact that Anna says she's going to be talking today about conservative treatment measures for lipedema.
And I traveled all this way for a couple of different reasons. Taking care of your lipedema surgically is only part of the process. There are a lot of conservative treatments that are also part of maintaining your health post-surgery, and even for some people are alternatives to surgery altogether. I am trying to be the most informed patient I can be and make the best decisions along my journey. So this was the logical next step with me, especially since I have like a little gap before my next 2 surgeries. So I'm excited today to get that ball rolling.
Based on our previous conversations about Anna and her lipedema journey here on the channel, we are well aware by now that Anna did not follow conservative measures when she was early into the progression of the disease. Conservative measures very early on include wearing compression garments like compression socks, doing leg pumps, and even going and getting manual lymphatic drainage. None of these things were done by Anna on a regular basis, and she did not start to take her disease seriously until it had progressed to a pretty advanced stage. And it really, really bothers me that Anna always leaves this information out of the conversation. And she doesn't even have to get as in-depth as I did there. She could simply include a disclaimer that says, I have advanced lipedema, and so my conservative treatment measures are going to look very different from yours if you're in a different stage or level of lipedema. But I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Anna can't go out of her way to even add the tiniest disclaimer, because we've seen that it's really tough for her to do the bare minimum, even to tag this video as an ad the way she should have. Oh yeah, did Anna forget to mention in all of these videos that this doctor is part of that program that she's an ambassador for? It's always interesting to me that she chooses to leave this information out, only ever bothering to put the hashtag ALT ambassador all the way at the bottom of her descriptions or her posts where people are unlikely to see it. But wait, it gets better. As a part of Anna's treatment, they place her in a machine called a CVAC, and they explain to her that it's going to go through a cycle where it takes air out of the machine and then puts new air in, changing the pressures to reduce inflammation. Anna, like the good little influencer she is, did this treatment while live streaming it, which I'm glad was shown in her actual YouTube video since TikTok live streams are often not available for playback. We all know by now how much Anna loves that content that self-deletes. The video ends with Anna getting out of this machine and letting us know that she has some follow-up work to do, getting some additional genetic and blood testing done. And I think this ending just was so anticlimactic that it made the whole video feel like a nothing burger to a lot of people. But I remembered when she made a TikTok about this, which was a while ago because her TikTok is always way ahead of her YouTube channel. I remember that she had a very different ending where she talked about adding the CVAC machine to her regular treatment for lipedema.
Let's do my first CVAC together. This is Dr. Herbst. She's literally the queen. If you don't know anything about lipedema, start with her.
So this is a CVAC system, and what it does is simulates different altitudes so you can help reduce your inflammation. Dr. Herbst, who heads up research at the Roxbury Institute, is the one overseeing my session. Here's what's going on inside there. Basically, it's simulating a higher altitude, which is causing my body to flush out toxins, and it's reducing my inflammation. Then it comes down from that altitude and brings in fresh air. You can see this kind of happening with this bag that we put inside the machine while it was running.
Ta-da! You did great. Honestly, I was fine. Oh, that was actually really cool. It's the future. I've only been out for about 5-ish minutes, and I can feel like stuff moving in my body, which is kind of cool. And I've already had to pee, which means my inflammation is going down. So far it's a win for me, and I'm definitely gonna find a place in Austin so I can do this more regularly.
And I know what you're probably all thinking, especially if you're a fan of Anna. I always get them flocking to these videos. You're probably thinking, Sam, you're being so nitpicky. That was such a harmless statement. What could she have possibly said that would draw your attention? Now, I want to take a second to remind everyone, fan and non-fan, that Anna has spent the last year, maybe year and a half, building herself up as this lipedema warrior, lipedema content creator who's creating this content to be educational and to help people in her audience who might have lipedema advocate for themselves and learn what the treatments might be. Okay, so with that in mind, here's the problem with what she said that not a lot of people seem to have noticed. Dr. Karen Herbst is a researcher, and she is looking for new and innovative ways to treat lipedema. If you pay really, really close attention to Anna's video and TikTok, you can see on the base of that CVAC chair, there is a black plaque with white, bold lettering that says prototype. And that tells me immediately that this treatment is not a conservative treatment, it's an experimental one. And there's nothing wrong with experimental treatments, except for that Anna's not been clear about that in her content. In fact, she is so daft about the treatment that she's just had that at the end of that TikTok, we see her saying she's going to look for a place that does that treatment in Austin so she can add it as a part of her regular routine. A quick Google search let me know that that's not going to be possible because only 2 of these machines exist, again, because they're prototypes, and they are in Beverly Hills, California, and Tucson, Arizona, within this ALT program that she's a part of. This website is also the one that let me know this is an experimental treatment because it doesn't even list lipedema within the conditions that could benefit from it. So once again here, we have Anna clickbaiting her health because the only real health update in this video was that she only has lipedema and does not have lymphedema. Congrats, I guess. Then she continued to not include the fact that she's working with this practice. And on top of all of that, she's promoted an experimental, potentially expensive and hard to get treatment to her audience who might also be vulnerable in dealing with lipedema as though they are affordable and conservative treatment options, when that couldn't be further from the truth. All right, that is all I have for you all today, and like I said, I am really excited today to know what you think. You all always come so prepared, and as I mentioned, I really, really wanted to talk about this with someone, but as a person who's chronically online and knows no other real-life people who are chronically online, I figured coming to you all was my best bet to have a conversation. So please let me know what you're thinking. I am genuinely so curious. Did you see that Amberlynn's videos got removed, and what did you think about that? I also want to know what you thought about her coming back in that vlog and saying that she was planning to do more what I eat in a day and mukbang style content. Will she ever learn? And what about Anna? What do you guys think about her continuing to just clickbait her health and then also promoting these experimental treatments like they're conservative treatments while not being clear with her audience that she's working with this facility and these doctors? I feel like it's just so irresponsible, but at this point, I don't think we're going to get her to disclose that the way she properly should. She'll get caught eventually, like karma's always going to catch up to her, but I'm genuinely curious to know what you all think, because until I saw that prototype in bold lettering, I too was almost like, oh, this is just a nothing burger. But to hear her saying, oh, it's a conservative treatment measure, and then to see that it very clearly wasn't, it was a lot. And again, I was like, I gotta bring this to the channel. I gotta bring this to my people, the people who get me. I get you, you get me. Let's chat about it. I'm genuinely curious to know what you think, so please leave all of your thoughts for me in the comment section down below. I will be reading them as soon as this video goes up. So please, please, please share them with me. And for all my introvert friends out there who may not feel comfortable leaving your opinions in an internet comment section, I see you. I feel you. Go ahead and leave me a rocket ship emoji this week because I feel like our girlies are anywhere but here on Earth with the rest of us. As always, thank you all so much for being here with me this week. I will see you in the next one. Bye.